Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. This is Small Town 6. My name is Tiffany. I'm a mama of 4 kiddos and I'm married to my husband Ryan. Today I'm sharing with you a fun little collab. We did one of these about a month ago. We're going to try to continue doing this every month because it got such great feedback. It's being hosted by my friend Tamra from Southern Wife Everyday Life. If you haven't checked her channel out already, she's fantastic. She is such a sweet person. She actually helped me get started. Like once I started doing YouTube, she helped welcome me into the group and on Instagram and taught me a lot of stuff. And she is just so sweet, and she has some of the best recipes, best content. You got to check her out. I'll put the link in the description box. Also, it's a big collab with a bunch of ladies. We're all picking favorite recipes, you know, desserts, whatever you want to make from cookbooks. We're bringing back cookbooks. So I want to share some recipes with you guys that I'm going to make. This is actually some first time recipes I haven't made before because I wanted to mix things up. I kind of get stuck into the same pattern of making the same things. So we're both going to try this out for the first time. So I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And when you are done watching my video, there's going to be a whole playlist linked at the bottom. You can go to each of those ladies' channels and check out what they've come up with from their cookbooks. And I'll also put the link for the cookbook that I'm showing in this. That way if you want to purchase it, you're more than welcome to. So the first recipe I'm going to use is out of a new book I bought. I've tried a few things on here. I didn't buy it like as I did this in my grocery haul. I didn't buy this to lose weight. I just wanted to make some healthier stuff that might actually taste good, and this was recommended by some other YouTubers that I'd seen purchasing the same book. The author's name is Brittany Williams, and I guess she put, I don't know if these are her own recipes. She's lost 125 pounds doing her 2 books. Like I said, I'm not following the meal plan that she puts in here. I just wanted some new recipes that use some healthy ingredients. Ingredients that I could actually purchase or understand that didn't cost me $1 million to buy because we don't have a Whole Foods or anything where I live. So it's called Instant Loss. Eat Real, Lose Weight. So I'm actually going to be making something called Super Sloppy Joes. My kids love Sloppy Joes. Shockingly, this doesn't have any meat in it. So I'm really curious to see how this is going to turn out and whether my husband is even going to try to eat this. But like I said, the other recipes that I've tried so far have been fantastic in this book. And you don't even know that it's like super healthy. I'm going to use my Instant Pot for this one. And I'm going to also make some other stuff. So not everything's going to be out of this healthy little book, but I'll link it below. Also, a side note, if you don't have an Instant Pot, you're missing out. You need one. I avoided them for so long, but they make life so much easier, especially if you're busy or have kids and just want to throw it all in there. But if not, you can probably just use this in the crock pot. For recipes that require an Instant Pot, it just makes the process faster. I will just throw it in the crock pot and let it cook all day. 6 to 8 hours on low or 3 to 4 hours on high. So I'm going to go ahead and list you ingredients. I need 1 small red onion, a cup of lentils, and I couldn't find these at Aldi's, so I got these at Kroger or Walmart. I've never actually cooked anything with lentils, so I'm eager to see what this is going to be like. 1 green bell pepper, a ½ cup of vegetable or chicken stock. I use my chicken stock, so I'm just using broth. I'm sure it's the same. 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. So I'm just using 2 of these little ones. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. I think I said that right this time. A tablespoon of red wine vinegar. 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup. I don't have that. That stuff is like $10 for a little bottle. So I just went ahead and got sugar-free syrup because that's what I use here. Half a teaspoon of paprika, half a teaspoon of chili powder, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of dried minced onion, half a teaspoon of fine sea salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And then you can serve these on buns. There's actually a recipe in this cookbook. If you're like watching carbs, they're flourless hamburger buns. But I didn't have the ingredients to make those, so I'm just going to use real buns because that's what we have. So anyway, let's get started. What we're supposed to do is it says to put everything. I'm gonna have to chop my onion up. Put everything into the Instant Pot. Layer it by red onions, then the lentils, then the bell peppers, then the chicken stock, then the tomato sauce, then the Worcestershire, then the maple syrup, then vinegar, then paprika, then chili powder, all the seasonings. It says do not stir it. And it says to put the lid back on, and we will cook it, once it goes to venting, we'll cook it on high for 15 minutes. When it's done, you're supposed to let it naturally release until it hits 5 minutes. So it'll say L on there once you've released the vent, the pressure, like this little vent if you don't have one. Or if this is your first time using it, you always have to seal it, and you always have to make sure that you turn that to sealing, not venting. You'll release it to venting whenever it's done cooking. A lot of times my little thing doesn't pop up because this is worn out on the inside of this liner. You always gotta make sure that's on there. But mine is starting to lose its form where I've used it so much. Another tip is if you have an Instant Pot, this isn't a non-stick one. I didn't even know they created those, but they're on Amazon. Someone told me about. So I will spray it with cooking spray because I'm always afraid of getting the burn message on mine when I don't have, I won't be putting this in there because there's no meat. If I cook with chicken, I always put this in the bottom to cook. That way it doesn't stick to the total bottom because these things get so hot. And it gets really annoying when it wants to tell you that it's burning. Even if it might just be like the littlest thing on there. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and dice this onion, and we're going to start layering this and get started. My mom got me this because she doesn't always want to use her electric one, and it's hard for her to chop it by hand. So she got me this little speedy chopper. It's got like a string on it. She loves her. She swears by it. I'm really eager to see if this thing works. She got it. I don't know if she got it. She got it offline. It's got this little thing. And it reminds me of like a lawnmower or something. Starting a lawnmower, but she swears that it chops it up. So we'll see how this goes. going to seal it in the venting, and we're going to put it on for 15 minutes, high pressure. And then when it's done, we'll let it go until it's been sitting here for 5 minutes after that, and then we'll release the pressure. Okay, the next thing we're gonna make is from another cookbook. I'm gonna make a side to go with these sloppy joes. Instead of doing fries tonight, I'm gonna use the Magnolia Table Cookbook. This is the second one. I'm going to make, I've never made these before either. They're called Hasselback Potatoes. Look really good. So all I'm gonna need is 6 medium potatoes, 4 tablespoons or half a stick of butter, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a teaspoon of minced garlic, a half a teaspoon of sea salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 3 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, and then 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley. But I never have fresh, so I'm just gonna use the kind in the jar. So first thing first, we're gonna preheat the oven to 425, and then we're gonna get the 6 potatoes out, and you use a knife, and you have to slice them crosswise into thin slices. So you don't want to cut it all the way down to the bottom. So we'll slice them all the way until they're almost to the bottom. We don't want to cut them off because it's gonna like leave it kind of like a fan in a way, where it's kind of like, you see that? Like that. And then I guess we'll put that in a 9 by 13 inch dish, and we have to carefully fan the potatoes out. But then we're also gonna, in the bowl, whisk together the butter, the olive oil, the garlic, the salt, and the pepper, and just pour that over top of each potato. About 1 tablespoon per potato. Gotta bake these for 45 minutes, and then sprinkle Parmesan and parsley over each one for another 20 minutes. Wow, those have to bake a long time. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do those. For 45 minutes, and then we're going to top it with the 2 tablespoons of parsley and 3 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, and let it bake for an additional 20. Okay, for our side, also tonight, besides the potatoes, the same cookbook as the sloppy joes, the Instant Lost book. I'm going to make garlic balsamic roasted asparagus. So all we need is a bunch of asparagus, 1½ teaspoons of extra virgin olive oil, 1½ teaspoons of balsamic vinegar, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. So we're gonna toss all of that around in a bowl, and with olive oil, the vinegar, the garlic powder, sea salt. It says you can use the air fryer. I'm just gonna bake it in the oven because it's already at 425. So if you want, you can use the air fryer for 5 minutes at 380, but I'm gonna use the oven. You can bake it on a baking sheet at 425 for 12 to 15 minutes. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna toss these ingredients together at the bowl, and then I'm gonna lay it out on a baking sheet. So let's get started. Also, the sloppy joes are done, so I'm gonna go ahead and release that pressure. I like to put a towel over it. I don't have balsamic vinegar, so it says what you can do if you don't is use red wine vinegar or cider vinegar and a little bit of sugar. So use 1 tablespoon of the liquid and 1/2 teaspoon of sugar and mix it, and that'll make balsamic vinegar.
Take it real soon. You know we got what you need, baby. So take it, move along. I said we got what you need, honey. Come and groove along. Come on. Rolling on the highway.
Now we're gonna put it back in for 20 minutes. Okay, so now I'm gonna finish this evening off with dessert because why not? So I'm back to the Magnolia Table Cookbook. I'm gonna make the Flourless Chocolate Cake. In this, you're gonna need 8 tablespoons or 1 stick of butter, 1 cup of chocolate chips, 3/4 a cup of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of espresso powder, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3 eggs, and 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. Now, I don't have the espresso powder on hand, so when I looked it up online, it said you can sub that out for actual espresso, just reduce some of your liquid. So I have an espresso machine, so I'm just gonna mix the same amount of that into this. And then for the ganache, that's gonna go on top of this when the cake is done, you need 1 cup of chocolate chips, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1/2 cup of heavy cream. And like always, I never have heavy cream and because I only use it every so often, so I will use 1/2 and 1/2 because you can sub that out for equal parts. So we're gonna need a 9-inch cake pan, just one of those round pans. I'm gonna preheat the oven to 375, and then we are going to combine in a saucepan the butter and chocolate chips, and we're gonna melt those. And then we're gonna pour that into a bowl, add the sugar, the salt, the espresso, the vanilla, and the eggs, and we're gonna whisk it until it's smooth. Then add the cocoa in and whisk it until it's in. And then we'll pour it all into the pan and bake it for 24 minutes. Let's go ahead and get started on that. ganache to go on top of it. Okay, now we're gonna make the ganache. I'm gonna take a bowl. We're gonna mix a cup of chocolate chips, and we're gonna mix a teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm gonna set that to the side because we're gonna take the half a cup of half and half or heavy whipping cream, and we're gonna microwave it for about 45 seconds to 1 minute. Okay, I microwaved it for a minute. It's steaming hot, so now I'm gonna pour this over the chocolate chips and the vanilla, and we're gonna let it sit for 3 minutes, it said, and then we'll mix it together and pour it over top of the cake. So now that I've poured the ganache over it, it says to let it sit for an hour so it can set. Or you can speed up the process and put it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. That's what I'm gonna do. It's been sitting for like 20 minutes. The kids are wanting a piece, so I'm going to cut it. Lady, is it good? Do you like the cake?
Yeah.
Should I make the cake again? Yeah, pretty good. What do you rate it? 1 out of 10.
I give it 100 out of 10.
All right. Okay guys, that's going to be all for today. I hope you enjoyed it. A nice dinner from a whole bunch of cookbooks. I'll list the cookbooks down below and link it. That way if you guys are interested in buying it, you can. And I'll also list what the recipes were and the ingredients for them. So don't forget, when you're done with my video, to go check out the other ladies on the playlist and see what they came up with from their cookbooks. I'm sure they're all delicious. And don't forget to check out Tamara's channel, Southern Wife Everyday Life. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.